Hello, you're with Tanisha Ali, and I want to talk today about why Sisterlocks are worth the investment. I'll be the first one to beef about what I've learned since starting this channel a little less than a year ago from some of the ladies, which is that many people are paying, I think the majority of people are paying under $2,000, but there's some who have paid over that amount. And when you consider what the number of subscribers were at the time that I realized that, let's say I had 1,000 subscribers, and out of that 1,000 subscribers, maybe 300 were commenting on a video about the cost, and out of that 300, maybe 3 people, which is more like 1%. Well, let's take it up a notch. Let's say 30 people, which would be 10%, were paying exorbitant rates. Over the course of how many people have Sisterlocks, they're going to be, the majority of people will be paying a rate that is more reasonable, even though it is a rate that's naturally going to be higher than what you'd be paying for most hairstyles. 1 to 10% is still not that bad. And again, even that is going to depend on who your loctician is, your geographic zone, and a lot of other factors. I think I mentioned before in a previous video that it may be worthwhile for some people to travel to a consultant that they find, or to even try to arrange an install, if they can find a better price, with someone that they trust in a city that they travel to on a regular basis. I think the biggest thing here that I want to impress upon you is delayed gratification, self-investment, and the idea that you can build up the ability to pay for your locks with financial ease if the Sisterlocks are something that you want and the experience seems cost prohibitive to you. So in other words, don't give up your dream to have Sisterlocks just because of the cost. Give up your dream to have Sisterlocks for some other reasons, but not because of the cost. I think that there are a lot of other reasons that people are not sure about locks. They're not sure if they want to be stuck with a style that is unchangeable, albeit very flexible. They may not be sure about if long term they're really ready to go natural. They may not be sure about how they may be received. They may not be sure about that whole inner transformation that has to happen that makes having locks a road or a pathway to self-discovery. If those are reasons, then yes, hesitate. But if price is a reason and you still want Sisterlocks, I would say to you, if you're not interested in doing Microlocks, and that's another topic because they're as beautiful as far as I'm concerned. I didn't know about Microlocks when I got Sisterlocks. I just knew I saw these little small things and they were beautiful and they were lightweight. They weren't going to weigh my hair down. I was not as much into the traditional lock for my look at that particular time, and it seemed manageable. It seemed versatile enough for me to have this styling variety that I really love in my hair, and so I chose Sisterlocks. But now that I've learned more about Sisterlocks, and I also recognize if I found someone who could do Microlocks, I'd still have to have them to have a grid. If I wanted them this size, I would still have to commit to multiple hours, and they would probably still charge me a regular rate, which would probably exceed, if not rival, what I paid for my Sisterlocks anyway, right? So it's just something to think about. Don't allow the cost to deter you. What you should do is instead use a little self-discipline and a little restraint and begin to save for your Sisterlocks. I think that that is something that we all can get into trouble with. We buy on emotion We make decisions sometimes that can be fiscally irresponsible, or that can be decisions that can put us in hardship in another way, shape, or form. We live in a society of instant gratification. We want things now. We don't even want them now. We want them like yesterday, right? And so what I'm saying is, if you put away $50, $60, $70 a month, over time, you'll have the money for your Sisterlocks, and you'll be able to do it with ease. So you put $50, $60, $70 away a month over time. You have $840, which for some people is even more than you need. Your hair is growing while you're waiting. You're getting your hair healthy while you're waiting. And then when you get that quote, you put down a down payment on top of that, or an additional lump sum on top of what you saved, and you ease into your Sisterlocks. And then it becomes a journey that is full of fond memories, and you feel successful, you feel happy, you can enjoy it without having buyer's remorse, without feeling Sisterlock poor. You know how people feel house poor? They move into a house, they put all this down payment down, and then they living in the house, but they can't get furniture, they can't furnish it, or if they have a repair, Lord forbid, they aren't able to take care of the repair because they're house poor. You can't feel good about something that feels like a noose around your neck. So do it in a way where it's joyful, and just think of the evolutionary journey along the way that can occur while you are planning for this. Number one, you get to appreciate and feel the power of saving. You get to transition into this new hairstyle and imbibing all of the frequencies of happiness without any remorse, without any regret. You feel really good about the decision you made, and it doesn't take anything out of your household budget. It doesn't take something else away from you. But if you figure you can spend, most people spend over $100 a month on a cell phone bill. I can't relate to that. I spend $45 a month, $50 at the most, with Verizon. I do prepaid. I pay for my phone up front, and I don't believe in monthly fees. I remember a year ago, it was about a year, April 12th ago, I went to get another phone. I didn't go to get a phone. I got into place, and I'm a digit person, a digital, excuse me, I'm a device junkie. So I didn't go in there to buy a phone. I saw this flashy 9S. I decided to get it. I decided to get it on a payment plan. Why did I do that? When I got home and got the first bill, it was $120. I was like, no, sirree. They mapped me into a $20 line fee, which I wasn't paying with a prepaid plan. They mapped me into some warranty, all of these other fees and taxes. Within that next month, I went on up there, forked out the cash, paid it off, and got back on my prepaid plan. But most people will pay over $100 for a cell phone. A cell phone that's disrupting your human energy field, that has you addicted, that has you being a Hebrew slave to technology, the social media forums, that is constantly interrupting your day, and is really not making you feel any better about who you are or directly improving your life. It's making you feel more overwhelmed. You will spend money on that, but you don't feel that you're worth paying the money out for Sisterlocks. You'll spend $1,200 a year or more on a phone, but you complain about how much Sisterlocks cost. And I'm telling you, over the long term, and I'll be the first to complain about some of these exorbitant rates that some of these locticians charge, and some of the titles and all of this other stuff attached to it, but that's another video. What I'm saying is, right now, is if you spend that much on a cell phone, spend that much on something that feels good. Spend that much on something that over the long term will more than pay for itself, which will quadruple or quintruple or sesquituple, or whatever the word is, your initial investment. That's going to make you feel good. That's a part of your journey as a woman. That's a part of your journey as an African American beautiful queen. Like, there's just no trade-off. There's just no trade-off for never having a bad hair day, for never worrying about the rain, for never worrying about going swimming. Didn't y'all see that movie, Nappily Ever After? When the little girl, the mother, I can't think of her name, but the mother was always like, She treated her like a China doll, and the little girl couldn't play with all the other kids, but she decided one day she was getting in the water, and her mother saw her standing on the brink, on the precipice of the pool, and she was screaming and hollering, "Don't you do it, don't you do it, don't you do it." And the little girl wanted to be free. She knew her mother had spent all those hours combing, pressing, and curling her hair. She dove into the water. And she dove into the water for freedom, and in that sense of freedom, her mother snatched that feeling of empowerment from her, and so did the children around her, who began to make fun of her as her hair began to draw up, and her mother snatched her out of that pool and said, "Get your butt, let's get out of here and go home. What's wrong with you? Are you crazy?" So Sisterlocks prevent all of that. Sisterlocks allow you to be more of who you are, and they show who you are because it's actually a journey. It's a spiritual journey. You have to get beyond your vanity. You have to get beyond worrying about what other people think, and you have to deal with who you are without your hair, or who you are in the midst of your hair. And so it's an amazing journey. There is no value that can be placed on the benefits and the growth that can take place. And I say, if the only reason why you're on the fence about not getting Sisterlocks is simply because of the price, you've got a solution for that. Okay? Pay over time, take a second job for a month and a half, do odd and end kinds of things, have a yard sale. There are a multitude of ways. If your life depended on it and you had to sit down and you had to come up with 50 ways that you could make $1,500, and you had to do that in less than 50 minutes, and you were being told that you would be paid $1 million to do it, you could do it. You could come up with any number of creative ways, given the opportunity and the necessity. Necessity is the mother of invention. You would come up with ways to get what you want. So look at it as that. If it's something that you like for whatever reason, if it's something that you want, then it's something you're being called to. If you can't let it go, if you can't let the desire go, then there's a reason. So embrace it, baby. Just live with it, embrace it, and find a way. There's always a way. You're with Tanisha Ali of Butterfly Transformations, connecting you to the vision of who you truly are. I work with women and form partnerships with them from all around the world to help them to move forward in reclaiming the fulfillment in their lives. I help them to gain clarity. I help them to clear and heal their energetic and emotional blocks. I help them to up-level their mindsets and to manifest the glory of God within them. Stay tuned for my book, which should be on Amazon in a couple of days. It is called Manifesting Your Masterpiece. Okay? Self-coaching and daily mindset reflections for up-leveling and living your best life. Also, stay tuned in the next couple weeks for my Money Manifesting Magic Journal. It will help you get through what it is are some of the more important things you need to tend to in terms of your chakras and activities as it relates to manifesting money in your life and in general abundance. And then the workbook conduit, or the workbook companion to a brand new, I'm super excited about this course launch, Manifesting Your Money Magic, which is 28 days to up-leveling your money mindset and getting that cash. Just this is a way to tangibly increase your income in less than 28 days. This is not a gimmick. This is not a get-rich-quick scheme. This is aligning yourself with spiritual and energetic principles to move your life forward based on the things that I have done in my life and helped other women with, who are turning their lives around and living better lives than they lived before they began to embrace some of these empowering principles. So that particular course is being released at the end of October. The companion workbook that you can use with the course, or that you can use all by itself if you're not able to afford the course, will be on Amazon. I'll speak more about that. I do plan on making sure that women of this channel receive a discount code, so that if you decide that you're interested in the course and you decide that you want to change the landscape of your financial frequency in 28 days, and you want to invest in yourself to take this class, then you will be given a significant discount. So anyway, you can reach me by looking at the information in the description. If you haven't given me a thumbs up, give me a thumbs up. Make sure that you like this. Make sure that you share it. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, and I'll be talking to you soon. Have a prosperous day.